Well, we're heading into the abyss. We've just passed the last convenience store on this road that doesn't sell coffee out of a can. We're going north. We're heading up the coast to the northernmost point of Hokkaido. Oh, the northernmost point of Japan even. So we're heading up to Cape Sawyer and then we'll head to Wakkanai city, the northernmost city. And on the way we pass some pretty bleak landscapes, some towns that no longer have people in, and a lack of convenience stores for a long time. So we're heading into some really desolate place really. It's cold and windy, so it should be fun. This drive up the coast is really interesting on the way to Wakkanai. So on this side of the road you follow the ocean, the Okhotsk Sea, and on the other side you follow what was the route of a railway line. So here's an abandoned bridge, and over here we have some more abandoned bridge. So this line came from Omu, just over here, and was heading towards Esashi up the coast, and it never quite made it before construction was finished. So this here is Esashi, a town famous for crabs. I've come here a few times and got crabs. So as you can see over here, this town has quite a cool wee ski hill. So Esashi was where the railway was meant to eventually reach from the south, where I showed you earlier before, those abandoned bridges. But it never quite made it here from the south. It did come from the north, and it actually also came from the west, which is kind of unusual. But that line, it reached here, but it never actually opened. So from the west, it actually came from the centre of the island, a place called Bifuka. And the line was built as far as Niupu and opened to Niupu. But it never opened the rest of the way. So they built all the tunnels and the bridges and embankments. And they laid most of the rail. And they decided that it wasn't going to make a profit. And so they actually never opened it. It's I may have mentioned in another video before, but they're called Akajisen. So that's just a line that's going to run in deficit, or does run in deficit. And it actually was during the 80s, so that was when they were making preparations for the privatization of Japan National Rail into the smaller Japan rail companies, known as JR today. And so it was never going to make a profit. So even though they had laid all the rails and everything, the trains never ran. So the trains never reached here from the west or the south, even though from the west the rail did reach here, technically. So yeah, that's Esashi. So this thing here, this big ass, rock? Big cape? This big cape. This is where the rail actually used to go around and continued further north. And the road also used to go around there, but now you can see it's closed in winter. And instead the road goes this way through a tunnel. So yeah, they cut quite a rough piece of rock to get the rail around there. So it seems quite a lot of effort for closing it not that long after they built it. Well, this is Hamatonbetsu, further up the coast above Esashi, and the railway line did pass through here, and after it was closed, the line was actually turned into a cycle trail, which is quite a cool idea. But that also became a bit semi-abandoned, so unfortunately it's in a pretty rough state now. Well, this is kind of a cool feature on this road. It's a parking shelter to shelter you from the wind. It's pretty windy out there and I can't really feel any wind in here, which is kind of cool. Good morning from Wakkanai. It's really cold here today, and I realised I forgot my jacket, so I had to go buy some gaudy looking thing from the shop. It was only $20 though, so it's no big deal. Anyway, it snowed here a lot last night. There was a bit of a snowstorm. The hotel I stayed at actually had a bath on the top floor, an onsen, and the outdoor bath was pretty awesome in a whiteout snowstorm. It's really cold though when you tried to go from the building to the bath. This is a pretty cool structure though. It's built for the prevention of waves, so the ocean's just over this side. Big concrete barrier. That's about it really. This here is the top of the wave shelter, and here's some more concrete reinforcements. So over here is actually Sakhalin, one of the Russian islands, the big long one above Hokkaido. Yeah, you can see the water's a bit rough, still left over from the storm. As you can see behind me, the road signs all have Russian on them. That's kind of cool. So I feel that Wakkanai kind of cheats a little bit with its places of interest. It just needs to put the northernmost at the start and it becomes a place of interest. For example, the northernmost railway station in Japan, the northernmost point on the railway in Japan, the northernmost old lady in Japan, the northernmost taxi, the northernmost seagull, the northernmost... Oh look, it's Japan's northernmost love hotel. Since 1970. I guess it's still open. Japan's northernmost old people's home. I'm here at Cape Noshapu, which is a cape not far from Wakkanai City. There's an aquarium here. There's old Flipper here, and over there's actually, can you see that? There's a ship. Is that a ship? Yeah. There's a ship. That's the ferry heading out to the islands, the Rebun and Rishiri, which are over there, but you can't actually see them because it's a bit too cloudy. So, yeah. And on the hill here, there's a bit of a spy base. It's kind of cool. It's a military installation. Yeah, it's really cold out here and windy. Still left over from the storm. But yeah, I came out to see the sunset, but I can't. Well, it's my last day here in Wakkanai, and it's getting a bit stormy and the waves are pretty rough, so I'm going to head home. But yeah, that concludes my trip to Wakkanai. It was unfortunately over the New Year's break, so not a lot of things were open. I mean, there was a few things open, but... And winter, a lot of things seem to close as well. So they open again in about April, the end of April, so... Yeah, I don't know. Wakkanai was an interesting place. I recommend coming here at least once for a good good 10 minutes or so. But I've been here in the summer and it was a lot better. So maybe choose the summer if you're gonna come. Anyway, I'm gonna go home now. I got like a 4-hour drive ahead, so yeah. That was Wakkanai. See you next time, dudes. So this is Bifuka, just north of Hokkaido. This place has the privilege of having Japan's northernmost 7-Eleven. Suck on that, Wakkanai.